A very warm welcome to our meeting this Wednesday, February the 7th. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are in the world. I'm Mike Wozniak, as ever, hosting today's meeting. I'm a member of the NMUG board and a professional photographer in the UK. Sheeta is with us and will be moderating through this session as usual. Sheeta, was there anything that you wanted to add at this point?
Yes, at this point, I want to really ask everyone to please join our classes. If you know someone who would benefit from our classes, please let them know so they can join. We had a very excellent and interactive class on Apple Watch this past Saturday. This past Sunday, this coming Saturday, Jeff Bohr is going to be going over security and privacy. And for those of you who've always wanted to know about 1Password, Jeff will be covering 1Password in this class. So please sign up. Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks very much. Eckhart is with us, of course, our president, and I think he'd like to share a few words. So I'm just going to drop my share for a moment so that he can take over the spotlight.
I appreciate that. Let me just make sure that the spotlight works. Yeah, here we are. Yes, I thank you for the opportunity, Mike, to say a few things. What I would like to talk about is really one of our members who is here today. It's Dan Wassink. Dan has been a member for a number of years. He's also a member of our board, and he is, in addition to that, he has really done an absolutely fascinating job in creating our new website. And he's also administering it, maintaining it, improving it, enhancing it. So he does many things at the same time. In addition to that, we have some kind of a partnership situation with him that we incidentally have also with Sheeta, because Dan has his own organization. It's Dan's Tutorial. And when I joined Naples MUG some 13 years ago or so, someone indicated to me I should become a member of Dan's Tutorial as well, which I think at that time was called Noteboom or something. And I did. And I found out that that organization offers hundreds of tutorials. They are done in an excellent way. And the tutor, the instructor, is always Dan. And he's one of the very best, I think, in the entire industry. He is a wonderful instructor. And I can only suggest that our members, when they have a need for getting more involved in a particular app, they join Dan's organization and select a video or two to help them. So Dan is in addition to all of the things I mentioned, he also has become an official partner of our organization. We have a wonderful relationship. Now, Dan is going to, in his capacity as owner and chief instructor of Dan's Tutorials, he's going to give a presentation tomorrow afternoon on the new Vision Pro. And he is inviting our membership for free to join that particular meeting. And that's why I asked Mike to give me a minute or two to talk about that, because I think the Vision Pro is in everybody's mind. We all hear about it because it has been released. Nobody really knows how it will evolve. Some of them think great things about it. Some are more negative, critical. But Dan is going to give us his first insights, his first impressions tomorrow afternoon. And Dan, if you want to say a word or two and maybe put your link in the chat, I think it would be appreciated. But I want to mention to our membership, Dan has a complementary function to our organization. We don't see him as a competitor, but we work together very closely, very well. So Dan, if you want to say just a word or two on your thing, I believe tomorrow many of our members will be interested. Thank you.
Yeah, excuse me. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just make this real quick because you didn't come here to see me. But yeah, tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern time, it's going to run for about an hour. I don't run it any more than that because I go bowling. But I'm just going to give my first impressions of what this guy is all about. And I'll just start with, if this is the worst it can get, it's impressive. It has its quirks. I had to restart it a couple times yesterday. But if you want to see my first impressions, ask questions about it, spend an hour with me tomorrow, just register over at my site, Dan's Tutorials. Thank you, Eckert.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much. Can I go back to my share? I can't. Yep.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. A reminder, as always, that everything that we now produce is available on our website. I hope by this time everybody is checking in on a regular basis. That, of course, includes past meetings. Eileen's meeting today will be available to view in a couple of days' time. Last Saturday's class, I imagine, has been probably up for a couple of days. So all of that stuff is always available. So please visit the site regularly and enjoy it. A couple of announcements before I pass the meeting over to Eileen. First of all, next week, meeting I'm very excited about. Photomagico 6 is probably the best software that exists for making slideshows from static images. I've used it on and off over a period of years. It's much bigger and much more extraordinary than Keynote. And I don't know how Sheeta managed to wangle this, but I'm delighted that Oliver, who is the CEO of Boink Software, and so there is no one on the planet that knows Photomagico any better than he does. So I've never heard him speak before, and I'm really excited about next week's meeting. So same time, same place next week, folks, and we look forward to seeing you then. As has been mentioned now, Jeff is with us on Saturday for the security and privacy class. And there's a little list here of some of the topics that he'll be including, which, as Sheeta said, includes 1Password, which at least one of our members only recently said that they would love to see brought up in one of our classes or meetings. So 1Password, security, blocking emails, passkeys, cyber scams, how to protect your Mac and your iPhone, unsubscribing from emails, backup strategies. It's going to be a busy old morning on Saturday, and fantastic value for money. So we hope you'll register today and join us on Saturday morning for that.
Can I say two things?
Of course you can.
I'm sorry. Oliver. Oliver is the developer CEO of Boinks.com. And his company produced the mouse pose like screen pointer that I always use, that everyone always asks me about. And recently they integrated Photomagico with Peak 2. So you might want to really see this and let your friends know. That is really good. And with Jeff, the member who asked me about 1Password, signed up for the class. So there you go. Instant. Yeah.
Thanks very much. So the only other thing was just to mention, Dan, I'm sure you all know Dan's address, but it's www.danstutorials.com. You'll need to register for this event if you decide that you'd like to come along tomorrow, but registration is free. So just nip over to his site after today's meeting and you can sign up and join us all there. And with that, I would love to pass the meeting over to Eileen. Eileen, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to see your lovely pictures, and it's all yours.
My screen share is
that works.
Okay.
That works. All right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
Thank
Sorry
you,
about that.
No problem.
Okay, now you see the next one?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to share this love of impressionistic photography. And the best way to make your images look painterly is with ICM, which is intentional camera movement, and multiple exposures. I'll touch on that a little too. But ICM is when you move your camera during the exposure to create an artistic effect. And it's basically like you're painting with your camera. So I like to do it in camera, not in Photoshop. You can blur images in Photoshop and make it look like that, but there's something, to me, prettier about doing it organically with your camera. And then you might want to do little touch-ups, but overall you're getting what you want in your camera. So I'm going to show you how to do it, the techniques I use, and there's all different ways you can get painterly looks, like with reflections and even not moving your camera, just putting a very slow shutter. So I'm going to touch on all of those. So here's a few examples. To start off, the easiest is always trees, because I mean, you don't mind if they're blowing in the breeze a little, but basically they're stationary. So they're kind of good to practice on. And I do a lot of flower photography, and these are just petals. And just a little bit of movement gives them like a painterly look. So I absolutely love doing ICM with people. And when I travel, which I'm lucky enough to be able to do a lot, I always give myself an assignment, and I try to get people walking in every city that I visit. And these men were in Lisbon. This one, I only had a one-shot chance because they were really walking fast, but I'll show you in a later one how to do it easier. And here's another flower, just ICM. And the ones on the left, I not only did ICM, then I added a texture, and then I used a mode, a blend mode that gave it like this really wild color. So the blend modes are really cool to use for this stuff too. In a car, not while you're driving, only when you're a passenger, please. It's fun to try ICM out the window. Don't try it out the side window. You'll get nothing but total blur. But out your front window, you focus ahead. This one I zoomed on the bridge, and it really wiped out a couple of cars. This bridge was not as empty. And the one on the lower right, that's 2 ICMs put together. So I'll show you how to do that too. But just to show you the versatility of using ICM, this was my daughter's Christmas tree. The one on the left, I used my Lens Baby Soul, and I did an ICM with it. The one in the middle, I used an app that I'm going to show you on my phone that does multiple exposures, and you turn it as you're doing it. And the last one is the same one as the first, but then I